Working with people and being in ministry over a few years now, I've always said nothing surprises me, and nothing does, because I know that everybody, the whole world, carries some form of shame, something they're not happy with themselves about, something that they're a shameful thing, and a lot of times it's hidden deep underneath you, underneath your life, and unless you can actually deal with that stuff, you just carry it and keep hiding it and keep putting it down. I remember when I first started changing my life and found God, and I went to a church, and I seen all these suits around me, people that I thought had it all together, and I pretty much freaked out. I thought, these people, they've never done any of the things I've done. And then when you realise, without knowing the love of God, that shame is everywhere. People are bound in that. They become prisoners to that. So then they find they have to put up these fronts, these masks, and don't let anyone find out who I really am, because no one's going to accept me. And I watch the world walking around like that all the time, and everyone's looking for acceptance, right down from kids who have got to get the latest trendy stuff, the Hurley t-shirts and all the rest of it. You've got to be seen to be part of that, and then as you get older, the Armani suits and all the rest. And, I used to look at people in these things and think they've got it all together. And you know what it is? It's the blind leading the blind. Because if you're starting to try to find identity through acceptance from other people and all that, you're going to be caught up in that all your life. My life, the drugs, the alcohol, sexual sins, all of that sort of stuff that had me. And, things that you think no one knows about you, so you keep it secret. And then I'd watch other people and I think, oh, this person's got it all together, look at this person or that person. But then you discover that they're in the same page. They're actually lost and trying to find out, who am I? What's my purpose? I believe everybody in life has a purpose, a call, a plan, a destiny put inside them, inside their hearts. And once they find that and start to discover that, then everything starts to change. But this shame thing, that's a horrible prison for people. And if you don't realize that, hey, everyone carries this. I think Jesus exposed this that time with the woman who was caught in the act of adultery, and the Pharisees judged her and wanted to stone her, kill her. And they're saying, Jesus, our Lord says that we need to stone her. What do you say? And we know, I've heard people say that when he was writing on the ground or with a stick that he was showing their sin, and that may be true. But I think it's even deeper than that. I think he was reminding them in the Spirit, showing them thoughts in their heads of the things that they've done themselves. Because you've got to understand, we've all been through stuff. You start pointing the finger at somebody else, and just because they haven't seen your sin, your stuff, the stuff that you're carrying shame in, just because they haven't seen that, you think you've escaped, but I can point the finger at them and it will make me feel better. I've seen too many things in life. I've realised when people come to know the love of God and they know that they can trust, and they begin to be able to disclose stuff and let things go and find freedom and joy because there's no more shame, because that's past, no longer that person. Look, everybody in life's done shameful acts. You just need to learn to actually be able to let that go and know. I think the very first time I experienced the love and the presence of God, he loved me all along. He'd seen everything I've done. He'd done horrible things in life. But there's nothing he didn't know about me. He knows more about me than I know about myself. So for the first time, I was able to find identity in him because he loved me. So I was drawn to him. Every other thing dropped away. All the shame of the past, all the things. And I could look towards a loving future because I have a loving God, a loving Father. That's what Christianity is. See, God doesn't want to whack people. He wants you to find love. He wants to set you free of the shame that he knows you're carrying already. He already knows about it. He already knows more about you than you know about yourself. But it's being able to let the past go. It's being able to let the hurts and the hang-ups go. It's being able to get healed from all the rejection and all the pain inside, the reason you've done the things you've done. Pornography, all that, sexual sin. You know what it is? It's because you're actually crying out for love, but you don't understand what love is, so you fall in all these traps. Drugs and alcohol. People are looking for the presence and love of God. They don't understand what it is, so they try and fill this need in their heart, this hurt, this pain, and they just get in more of a prison, more pain. The moment you can actually ask Jesus in your heart, That's when things start to change. That's when you start to have life, joy, hope, future. You know, you're not alone. If you think you're carrying shame, I'm the only one that's done this and no one's going to accept me, I think you'd be surprised. I think you'd be surprised the things that people go through in life, the things that people have done. You know, you always think, oh, it's only me. I can't tell anybody. That's not it. Shame is a horrible thing. Shame keeps people in prisons. It keeps them stuck in places. They don't know how to get out until they come to the very one who can actually give you the freedom, which is the love of God, the love of Jesus Christ. He's the one who can change people. He's the one who can give hope and future and purpose without judgment. It's the love of God. It's the presence of God. He's the one who changes everything. Shame is a terrible thing. And if you're going to carry that, then I don't know why you want to, because there's ways out. There's freedom. There's joy. There's liberty. There's breakthrough. But you need to choose. Choose life. Choose Christ.